Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk to you about the silent treatment, which is out right now. This is by Abbie Greaves, and this is about two women, or actually a male and a woman, and they are in a relationship. They got married, and they were not talking for 6 months. Don't know why. So yeah. During later on, what's her name? Maggie takes some sleeping pills or, and she, it is conscious. She is unconscious. Okay, Bobby, watch the video. Um, and, she's basically reduced. She's in a coma. Not she's unconscious. Oh yeah, she's dead. Anyway, so she is in a coma, and and yeah. So we're gonna read the first chapter, I guess, of this book. The prologue. From above, Maggie looks to have everything under control. She deposits the tables onto the dinner plates with her usual fastidious care. If anything, she moves through the motions of breaking the coated capsules free from the foil with even greater precision than usual, tipping the blister slowly as to enjoy the sharp, clanging sound that announces each one hitting the ceramic. Anything to break the silence. When she has 8 in front of her, Maggie retrieves from the sideboard of her glass water, untouched since lunch, and checks the oven settings one last time. Chicken pie, ready made. There will be 25 minutes. Plenty of time to finish up here. She pulls out a chair and takes a seat on the kitchen table, her back at the door. There is a shaft of bills in front of her, all settled, but spilling over untidily. Maggie reaches into her handbag and fishes out her most treasured gift, a paperweight fashioned from a rock, decorated especially for her, and places it on top of them. Mess contained, she clicks her pen, a rollerball, one of the few with ink, in the desk drawer of no return, with a smooth glide that seems unlikely to reignite the claw fist cramp a weak writing in bio has induced. Her script is neat and sharp as ever as she finishes her last sentence to Frank. Ooh, she's making a suicide letter. If there is any fragments of doubt in her mind, there are a few visible signs, maybe a little wobble on the comma, if you look closely. Maggie shuts the red leather planner, and without further ado, she gathers the pills in her hands, drops them on her tongue, and takes a small sip of water, casting her head back in the extravagant swallowing gesture she's developed in her teenage years, and never quite outgrown in the half-century since. At first nothing occurs. Without moving from her seat, she goes back to trimming the beans, pushing the ends of their particular ferocious tails to a corner of the chopping board. The waves of relaxation arrive after a minute or so. Maggie's slicing begins to slow. Her right hand trembles on the cutting knife. Just in seconds, she slumps forward. Fortunately, it is too far swift to process. Her head suddenly drooping in the way it always would during a French film marathon. Frank lined up for wet Sunday afternoon. It's a shame he is not there to cushion the fall this time. And this time, there is no chance she will jolt back awake. In this study, Frank fixates on the screen in front of him. The end is in sight, a knight, a bishop, and a pawn, all controlled by the computer on the beginner setting, no less. Bannen is in the last base in the Pope, his queen. All those academic achievements and still has yet to progress past level 2. It gives a whole new resonance to his favorite of his phases. Persistence is key. In the past, when Maggie called him for supper, he would be so engrossed in his strategy that he couldn't register the sound of her voice, let alone shut down his game. Once she had played it up, Maggie would come and retrieve him herself, resting her hands on his shoulders and stroking between the blades with her thumb until the checkmate screen inevitably appeared. Next time, she would say to buoy Frank back up. The algorithm seemed to be stacked against him, but Maggie could never stand to see him disappointed. Today, however, there was nothing quite so kind to rouse him. When the fire alarms cut through his consciousness, his surprise was more that it still worked, than that it had gone off. Maggie had never been a very attentive cook. At least it means they don't have to go through the cemetery of testing the smoke detector battery with a broom handle every 3 months. What's more, the early years together were marked by a string of now infamous culinary defeats, the lopsided trifle of 78, the fifth or sixth date, the concrete Shaw of 79, a title that earned him a night in the spare room. Gastroenteroscate at a birthday party hosted in the wildly upkept back garden, fortunately only attended by forgiving close friends. After the after effects had subsided, each one miraculously made him fall a little deeper in love with her. The alarm is shrill and inconsistent enough by now to cause him to exit his game, and after a minute wondering whether Maggie is already onto it to go and tackle the bugger himself, he can smell the smoke before he sees it. Ahead in the oven, something has burned, been forgotten perhaps, while Maggie takes one of her increasingly frequent lie down. Turning off the dial with one hand, he reaches for the souvenir tea towel looped on the door handle to begin to disperse the smoke. It is thicker than his first thought, and even Cornwall's finest dishcloth isn't going to cut the mustard. Fresh air, that's what he needs. It is only when he moves the door that he sees Maggie. It is not the empty pill packet at her side that gives it away, nor the spilled water glass, nor the vegetable diphtheria spread around her wrist. It is the pain in his chest. It is the carpet being pulled from under him. The walls giving way, the ceilings caving in. Every awful infrastructure analogy unfolding as he realizes what Maggie has done. He touches her wrist in the hope of finding something there, a flutter, a twitch, anything. Maybe it's too late. His hand hovers over the telephone cradle. He has never been good with calls, and there is a moment when it is touch and go, whether he will go back out altogether. Hello, emergency service operator, ambulance, fire, police, or Coast Guard. All right, Bobby, you can play whatever one you want. I don't care. Okay, well, find it. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it is. I'm not watching you watching. I'm reading this for my video. Okay? Silence. Hello, emergency service operator. Fire, ambulance, fire, police, or Coast Guard. Silence. May I remind you that making a call to the emergency services as part of a joke or prank is an offense and a risk to life.
It starts at home.
Ambulance.
It starts at home and she goes out of her home and go finding.
Frank manages just in time. The vowel was rattling in his throat before tumbling out in a barely audible torrent. Sir, you will need to speak up for the ambulance operator. I'll connect you now. Ambulance service? What is the address of the emergency? 43 Digibly Crescent, Oxford. OX2 6TA. Frank's voice sounds hoarse, unfamiliar, so unlike how it sounded to himself these past few months. Can you tell me exactly what has happened? My wife Maggie. She's taken too many of her pills, her sleeping pills. We're sending someone down now. She's conscious, sir. Can you feel if she has a pulse? Any sounds of her breathing? I don't know. I can't say for sure. Sir, do you have an idea of whether this was intentional? Silence. Any additional information you can provide at this stage may prove invaluable to our response. Have your wife recently mentioned any desire to harm herself? Any previous depressive episodes? Well, the thing is, we haven't spoken for a while. I mean, I haven't spoken to her for a while. It's been nearly 6 months. All right. And that is the prologue of The Silent Treatment by Abbie Greaves. If you are interested in this story, pick it up at bookstores near you. Bye.